Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. In
the rematch, did you figure Sergey Kovalev out?
I mean, I think I showed that. I think I showed it in the second half of the fight. A lot of people like to camp around the knockdown, and I understand that's the standard that's over my career. That's not where a lot of people have seen me, and I don't feel like I should be on the ground. So, but past that, I think if you look at the scorecards, it's pretty dominant after that. He won some rounds for sure. It's a 12-round fight. He's gonna get his, and I think it was pretty consistent and pretty dominant. So, but that doesn't mean that it's a given going into this fight. He's gonna make adjustments. I assume he's gonna be better, and I definitely have to be better and will be better.
I asked you this heading into the first fight. Be Andre Ward the commentator if you could. I know it's tough, but take yourself out of the equation. What is Andre Ward the commentator? How does he break down and analyze this fight?
I'll be honest with you, man. It's not even about getting too deep with it, man. It's gonna be a lot more flair. It's gonna be a lot more fun. I'm finna put on the show, and that's as simple as that. It's not about getting too deep. Of course, we work on specifics and certain things like that, but it's more about me doing what I want to do in it, and understand that that's my ring. And that's the mentality. At this stage in your career, yes, X's and O's, but it's about a mentality. It's my ring, and obviously I have to go implement that. It's not enough in just saying it, but that's what I plan on doing.
They say with great athletes, there's a phrase that you don't tug on Superman's cape. Has Sergey Kovalev done just that heading into this fight at all?
I can't say that he has, because he's definitely barking up the wrong tree in terms of it's funny, man, because they're not even good at it. I'm just gonna be honest. They're not even good at it. Like, if you gonna talk smack, like, just come with it. Like, enough where I can at least respect it. Like, okay, that's a good one. It's like, man, you could if he wants to post Twitter messages and Instagram messages until his fingers fall off, go for it. It's all good. Hold on a second. I'm cool with that. And really, he's being told what to do.
That's what you think so?
He's being told what to do, and at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, bro. You have to see me in a couple weeks. And it's just time to show up. You have to see me. So, it's not. I really don't. I don't read it. I get wind of some overflow here and there, but it's just all bad. June 17th. That's probably the best way I can put it.
Well, in that first fight, after the knockdown, you guys landed jabs on each other, and then that body work you did seemed to make that difference. But do you feel like you've yet to really hit him with your best shots yet, and that'll happen in the second fight, or?
I don't think I hit him with my best shots. I think I had a very workmanlike performance.
Right. Getting
behind like I did. You don't have the luxury to kind of set things up. You gotta kind of go to work and get rounds in the bag. And I think my mentality shifted. And I think, again, that's just a testament to, me and my team, man. It's just that, you want to try to build no matter what sport, win in different ways. You got to win the ugly. You got to have a workman-like performance. Sometimes you go out there and it's like, man, I did everything I envisioned doing. And that's obviously a beautiful night. But, unfortunately, it's not always like that. And I never wanted to be a guy where if you took away my best asset or if I got in a hole, I couldn't come out of it. And that's the first time I've had to come from behind like that. And I didn't know how I was going to respond. I know I got hard, and I know I've been on the canvas before. I've had adversity in the gym and fights, but not quite like that, on the biggest stage. And just to respond like that, man, it shows what we're made of.
But if he believes he's tasted the best you've got, is he in for a rude awakening?
It really don't matter what he thinks.
Right. How did he, though? You kind of said he did it, so does that mean you think in this second fight?
That's fine if he thinks he's I've been boxing 20-some-odd years. Like, if he thinks he's seen everything, that's cool. Let's talk after the fight.
But the fact is, you don't believe he has. Or
it's impossible to show you everything that I have in 12 rounds.
Well, and then I heard you earlier on First Take say you're going to have more fun in this second fight. Yeah. What does that mean?
It's just I've gotten back to just enjoying what I do, And I made my mind up after that last fight. It really had nothing to do with that fight. It's just, after each fight, and really, just often, like I'm in my head, trying to figure out ways to get better, and analyzing myself, and I had a good pre-camp even before camp even started, and it's hard to explain, but you just got to see it, So just having fun and doing what I want to do. That's the best way I can describe it. Verge came in when camp first started. He was like something different, and you're gonna see it, from the leg movement to the feints to clownish, everything. You're just gonna see a lot of fun. Like, I keep hearing people talk about how scary this dude is, and I mean, it's a certain point where that stops with me. Like, you're a good fighter, I give you credit, you know, and I've respected the dude even with all the recklessness he's been doing after saying, man, once a champion, always a champion. You know, I've maintained that. You know, he's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. And it's not going to be easy. But that's my range from 17.
Are you now the best fighter pound for pound? And sub-question that, do you have the best defense in the sport?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't, I mean, excuse me. Shameless plug up here. I keep hitting everybody. I don't think I have the best defense. I think I have a really good defense. I honestly wouldn't say I have the best defense. Yeah, I got a decent defense. You know, sometimes I get hit with stuff like, dude, you shouldn't be getting hit with that. You know, because the thing is, like, I think if I was defensive first, which a lot of people kind of say that I am, if I was defense first, I'd get hit less. But I'm trying to get some work in. You know, I'm trying to touch something, I'm trying to hit something. And when you're trying to hit something and touch something, I'm obviously trying to be responsible about it, but you're going to get hit. So, you know, it's like Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, he got hit more than Floyd got hit, but he was trying to get something. You know, he had a different mentality in there. He was more offensive. So, I wouldn't say that I'm the best defensively. I think I'm up there. But as far as pound for pound, you know, I've said it. Like, I'm out of that discussion, man. I don't know. You know, that's up in the air. And again, everybody who has a vote, I welcome them to vote. And again, if I get the top spot for a month, a year, 6 months, or whatever, I'm thankful. I'm appreciative. That's where you always want to be. But if not, I got to keep working.
And this is my last one. Are you expecting a better Sergey Kovalev, and do you have to be better on the 17th as well?
Yeah, I answered that a little early. Like, I expect him to be better. I have to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's how I get down. That's how I train. I'm gonna always give you more than you deserve, probably. And if it falls short of that, it's a bonus. If not, then, you know, I'm ready. And I expect myself personally. That's the demand I'm putting on myself, is to be better. And the first fight was a great fight. I just don't like to win like that. But I want to win a different kind of way. And really, man, it's about answering any questions that are out there, removing all doubt, and putting a muzzle on him and his team, because they've been doing way too much talking about it.
Thank you so much, Andre.
There's always tension between two fighters when they're going to fight. But with this rematch, Kovalev saying he wants to destroy you because he doesn't respect you, and then people are saying that maybe you've skipped the face-off and you're not showing up for certain promotions because maybe you disrespect him, or you feel like you're too good for this stuff. Can you set the record straight on that, and then how you feel about his comments about you not being a respectable man?
Yeah, it's funny how when stuff like that happens, a lot of times I get the short end of the stick. You know, it's always Ward. It's never the benefit of the doubt, or it's rarely the benefit of the doubt, or maybe he had a good reason to not be there. I've never no-showed anything in my career, ever. We're talking about coming up on a 13-year career in November. I've always been a professional. I do my obligations. I try to do them to the best of my ability. So if I'm not showing somewhere, it's probably for a reason. And simply put, the reason is there was a mutual agreement for both of us to be at that interview before the main event. And I trained on that day too. Left here, got my food on the road, got stranded at the airport for 3 hours, didn't bail and go, stayed, rushed my way to the fight, got there, no Kovalev. He didn't show. He broke the agreement. So my team said, hey man, we don't know if he's gonna be here tomorrow. I'm not gonna have you out here another extra day playing these kind of games. Go home and get some rest. And that's what I did. So I came, I packed for 2 days. He didn't show up, so he broke the agreement. So we're not playing those kind of games, you know?
Thank you for taking time with us today.
Kovalev says he feels like for him to win, he's got to knock you out. He can't afford to leave it in the judges' scorecard. Do you agree that that's the only way he can beat you?
Nah, man,
I'm not worried about the judges or anything, just because I know you're more of a technical fighter.
Oh, okay, I got you.
From that perspective.
I mean, that's not a question for me. That's a question for his team. You know what I mean? But that's like, I don't even look at it or think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like, my job is to shut him down from the start, and he can, you know, he can try as hard as he wants to try.
What did you learn about yourself from that first fight?
I mean, it wasn't really what I learned. It was just a confirmation. Like, I've dealt with adversity my whole life. You know, inside and out of the ring. You know, I deal with adversity. I've dealt with it my whole life. You know, and you know, just like that time, man, I felt like God brought me through. He had the right people in my corner and in my life to help me get through it. But, you know, that's not the first time adversity it knocked me, you know, knocked me to the ground. It's the first time a lot of people may have saw it.
Right.
But you know, I've been hurt in fights before. I've been dropped before. I've been cut before. I've dealt with pretty much the whole gamut in a boxing ring. So.
If preparing for a rematch, is it more fun or more challenging than a normal fight, or how's it different for you this go around?
It's the first rematch as a professional, you know, so definitely, you know, going 12 rounds, you know, I've computed what I need to compute. And again, that's not saying that he's not going to make adjustments, but I can't say whether it's hard or easy. All I know is I've had a great camp, you know, and we've had a lot of fun in camp, and I've worked my tail off like I always do. Didn't have a lot of some of the mishaps we had this camp that we had last camp physically that we didn't talk about, still haven't talked about. It's been smooth from that standpoint, and I've been happy about that. And because of that, I've been more happy in training camp.
What were the mishaps?
Just physically, you run, you know, you get bumps in the road, you know, stuff happens.
At the Oakland press tour stop, Virgil dropped a bombshell. He said you weren't able to do road work during their first fight. But your conditioning showed up because you actually got better in the second half. So without the proper road work and training, what pushed you through the second half where you actually did better in the second half by most standards?
I just thank God, man, for a big heart and just for a lot of desire, you know. And obviously, you know, the work that I put in, you know, I couldn't do the road work that I wanted to do, but, you know, I was able to spar. I was able to, everything I do is hard. If it was jumping rope, shadow boxing, and I'm working on that because, as you get older, man, you gotta work hard, but you gotta work smart. But you don't. That's the thing. Like, and Verge taught me this years ago. Like, I'm blessed with a pump. I'm blessed with conditioning, and that doesn't mean that I don't have to work it. But it means this. What you guys saw in that fight was years of conditioning, years of treating my body right, years of going about things the right way. So yeah, you can go hire a new coach. You can stay focused, you know, more than you did, and you're probably going to improve a little bit, but there's certain things you only get from years of work. Years. You don't get that in 8 weeks. So that's what you guys saw. And even when I run into a mishap here and there, I'm thankful I got time in, and a lot of times that's what bails me out.
How many times have you gone back and watched that fight?
Not many.
Yeah. Or you don't really go back too much.
I mean, I used to. You know, I used to when I was younger. I don't know. Like, as I've gotten older, man, like, I don't know. My wife, she gets mad at me. She's like, yeah, you didn't watch the fight. Like, you know, as much as you, I'm like, I was there. I know what happened. I'm good.
Is the thing in maturity now, it's more not about so much what you learned from that?
Maybe so. I don't know. I just think it's an evolution. It's just, I don't know if it's part of my age. I don't know. I honestly don't watch a lot of boxing these days. You know, I watch my friends. I watch people that I know, or, you know, certain fights. Like, you know, last week the fight I was really excited about, Errol Spence, stuff like that. But I used to watch anything when I was young. I just don't do it no more. I don't know why. But I know what I need to do, man. And you know, me and Verge, you know, he watches more film than me, and he'll recite things to me during drills. He'll tell me certain things, and I'll pick it up. I know exactly what he's talking about. If I don't, I'll ask him, like, what do you mean by that? And he'll break it down. So, you know, we're on the same page when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Andre, why is Kovalev under training? Like, why is that his game plan to take you less serious and under training?
And I don't know. I'm not his coach, but they got to figure that out.
But how do you feel about that?
It's an excuse, man. Like, who says that?
Well, I've never heard it.
I've never heard it either.
That's why I'm asking, because it's like the
I normally hear I
weirdest
undertrain.
And he said
that was a new one for me.
He said that to me. Like, I thought that he was joking. I thought it was going to follow with a laugh.
It's an excuse, man. It's an excuse. That's the best way I can put it. It's an excuse. And, you know, this is a game of chess. And if you notice, I think the first time he brought that up was in Oakland. But that's because for months he's been hearing the fact that we know he got tired. And we know you got tired in previous fights. It wasn't a secret anymore, so he had to scramble and come up with a reason on why. And I think that's the best he could come up with.
Andre, you think you got the power to KO Sergey?
Absolutely. If he get hit right, he can go.
Are you going to do anything different in this fight?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're working on different things. We're making adjustments, and man, I'm looking forward to going out there and having a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a tough fight. I'm ready for it. I hope he's ready for it. Because to me, it sounds like he thinks he's just going to come in and take something and not have any kind of resistance at all. That's what it sounds like to me. It's not going to be like.
I forgot the artist's name. You came into last time. The dude said, the king is here.
Lecrae.
You got something special this one?
I don't even know. I don't know what I'm going to come out to. I need to figure it out. We're a couple weeks out. I don't know.
You think you need a faster start this time, or something you worry about that?
I'd say so. lot faster, a lot better. Hopefully a lot smoother.
Are there any parallels between the Warriors and your fight? Like, do you see them going for potentially a 16-0 sweep or a championship run?
Yeah, I'm trying to look like they did last night. If I can look like that, I'm good. They made it look easy. I know it's not, but you know that's a rivalry. That's a rematch. Yeah, for sure.
Is that motivating you, like kind of watching the finals? Do you think about your fight?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff, man. I'm just one of those kind of guys. Like that kind of stuff always motivates me. You know, just seeing matchups and rivalries and seeing athletes go out there on the biggest stage and perform, like, you know, the team's performance, but also KD's performance, knowing what he has on his back, you know, knowing the pressure he has on him. You know, me and him text, we talk a little bit, and just knowing what he's dealing with, but then seeing him go out there and perform, of course that's motivation.
Do you have a level of confidence going into this fight since you won in the last one?
It's the same for me, bro. Like I think that's one of the hallmarks of my career. And I don't get too high and I don't get too low. You're not gonna last long if you do that. You know, I stay right here. I don't feel any different than I did going into the last fight. Now it's a little bit more stank on it because naturally some of the things that have taken place. But in terms of my confidence level, like I wouldn't say that I feel more confident, but I'm excited. I'm more excited for this one because I know what I feel like is going to happen.
Kind of following that up, it sounds like you may be even more hungry this time around to really prove your point.
It could be. You know, it's like I think that there's no possible way I could be more motivated or have any more hunger. Like somehow, some way, I get more. Yeah. You know, whether it's from outside sources or something deep down inside. Like, you know, I missed my son's graduation yesterday. You know, that does something to me. That just adds to the equation. That may mean nothing to other fighters, but to me that means something. You know, that hurt me that I couldn't be there. And so it's everything that's taking place in the first fight, everything that's been said, and then everything that takes place during training camp that brings you in that ring with that mindset.
Are you implicating any new routines this camp than the last one?
Nah, a lot of old routines, man. Just getting back to it.
What's that?
Just getting back to enjoying myself in that ring. You know, and not trying to be too perfect, not trying to execute just letting it come to me, and you know, seeing the results in that ring. You know, you get a good gauge in training camp. You know, in sparring, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever it is, and it's been consistent throughout this camp. And obviously, that's not the fight, but you know, I haven't looked this good in several years. You know, this reminds me of the Kessler training camp.
Can you talk about the hype video that you made for the Warriors?
Yeah, it was. I loved it, man. I loved it. It's funny because the producer, man, I got to give a shout out to him. I was tired when I went. I was like, he's like, I need energy. Come on. I'm like, man, I don't have no energy. I just worked out twice today. And I woke up, man. They gave me some espresso. I woke up and went to work, man. We did it for 2 hours straight, man. I think it came out real good.
Do you think you're going to get the proper credit in a victory, kind of like Mayweather-Castillo, or will people always revert to the first?
It doesn't even matter at this point, man, and it doesn't mean that I don't care. It just means that like I can't control that. I can't control that. Y'all know how I go. You know how I go. You know, I'm not going to change every bias in the sport. Personally, I'm not going to change prejudice in the sport. I do what I do. I try to speak when I feel like it's necessary for me to speak. And I gotta keep just being me and keep doing what I do. And then when it's all said and done, there's gonna be some people that love me and praise me and appreciate me. It's gonna be some people that, he's the worst thing that ever happened about. You gotta find that middle ground as an athlete. And that's where I try to fight to stay. And you can lean left and right sometimes, but that middle ground is where it's at, man. That's where the peace is. You'll go crazy trying to please everybody. I'm not doing it.
A couple last questions, guys, and we'll start work. Anyone else?
Ward, there's always trash talking big fights. I mean, I know it's not part of your character to talk trash, but a lot of fans out there do back you up, man. You know, they go into these wars with the Kovalev fans. Kovalev says he wants to kill you, he wants to beat you up out there. I mean, can you tell us, man, if you're going for the knockout?
I'm not gonna say I'm going for the knockout, man, but it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not gonna happen. You know, you're gonna have to bleed to do it. You know, when you say something like that to me, you're talking about taking me away from my family. You're talking about taking food off my family's plate. It's not gonna happen, bro. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? So you're not getting under my skin like you think you're getting under my skin. You just need to know, man, I'm gonna take you at your word.
Thank you, everybody.
And I know it's a lot of fans out there, man. I don't want to, that's why I try not to highlight some of the other stuff, man, because there's a lot of fans out there and people don't talk about it, man. I got a lot of strong fans all over the world, all over the country, man, that rock with me, push for me, and they don't play, man. I see them sometimes.
One more thing. Kathy Duval said that Rock Nation, Andre Ward are lacking off on the promoting the fight. I think with this whole story that you did with John David Jackson was a good way of promoting the fight. You pretty much put him out there, which also makes big headlines.
I try to stay out of it. You know, I let Rock Nation, like, they're the lead promoter this time. We said that about her the first time. She's saying that about us this time. I don't know, man. God bless Kathy, man. You know, she's been in the game a long time, and I respect her as a promoter. I don't understand a lot of stuff they say and why they say it, but, you know, it's all good.
All right, thanks.
If you guys want some other ones, I mean, you can come over while I get dressed and stuff.
Yeah.